Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Siege Cardinal League. We've got an awesome match ahead of us. Unreal Nightmare Academy versus Prism Esports Academy. Both of these young academy teams getting ready and showing their skills. We've got Cafe for you guys to check out tonight. What are your thoughts, Matt, as we head into this?
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one here, especially considering that Unreal Nightmare was the victors of last season. So having an academy team, we'll see if they can live up to that hype with that name behind them and that organization. Prism, one of those newly established teams. Both of these teams are rather very new. So excited to see what they can rustle up here on Cafe.
So, with Cafe coming out, we've got, I think, a fairly balanced map. It seems like, from what I've seen, Unreal Nightmare Academy are a fairly frag-heavy team. I mean, they've got a lot of really strong gunners with a lot of talent. I haven't seen Prism Esports Academy or their main team, so they have an opportunity to prove themselves, and we'll get a little bit of film to check out and begin to understand how they like to play it here. Going back to my previous point, for Cafe to see these teams come out, I imagine we're going to be seeing a fairly balanced show. I don't think any team is going to go too far into the lead, and we'll probably see things stay close head-to-head.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're looking at two new teams, they both really don't know each other. So you're going to be seeing a lot of unexpected plays. I would hope, because that's what kind of makes it a little bit more exciting. When you look at more veteran teams, you can see they have a play set, a play style in place. So for two new teams, you're just going to see completely brand new ideas and strategies, and that is going to be really exciting. So we'll see who can pull out the better ones and pull out the win.
Definitely. For those of you who didn't see our last match, because it was off stream, unfortunately, we had some issues that prevented it from showing. It was definitely a little bit of a different result than I thought, with Powerhouse taking a difficult, almost sort of disappointing loss on Coastline. Do you have any thoughts on that one you'd like to go over before we get things started?
Yeah, definitely. It was very interesting to watch that entire match unfold, and I do feel bad that we were not able to watch that. Most people were not able to watch it, but we will have a VOD up hopefully on SCL's YouTube channel, so you guys can go and watch that. It'll be a little bit scuffed, but it's okay. But Tactical Banditry really just came out here ready to play against Powerhouse. They weren't scared by a couple of big names from last season as a brand new team. And we're going to jump into this one here, and it will be Cafe and the ban phase. Prism Academy
Yeah.
banning first.
Getting into this here, I think a pretty safe bet to put your money on. Thatcher ban coming out. Feels like we touch on this so much. Thatcher, yep, there he is. Thatcher's off the board. We've touched on this so much in almost all of my casts for Cafe on Siege Cardinal League. Thatcher, he just does not seem to like this map too much. And we've got the Maverick ban as well. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for the attackers, I think, to take through in the top floor bomb side, and especially try to get control of Freezer. The Wamai ban as well, though, will make it a little bit more difficult to hold Cigar. Using his deployable shield and his magnets are a staple of holding that pixel position. So to see him go out, definitely something to watch.
Absolutely. That just means that holding Cigar is going to be that much more difficult. And at the end of the day, you still have Jaeger on the board, so already able to deny those operators is a really good thing to be able to do. Now, Mira off the board as well. Kind of your standard ban, and you see it quite often on Cafe because she is really powerful on that top floor hold. So looking at their operator lineups that they can really come out here for the third floor hold, you are going to see a Clash and you are going to see a Jaeger. Those two are going to work in tandem to try and hold Cigar without that Wamai strategy. Clash is just as effective, if not more effective, as they're going to switch off the Clash to Castle. So maybe a little bit of interesting play styles and strategies adapted here, but you probably will not be seeing a very strong hold of that pixel spot inside of Cigar.
Yeah, so a little bit of a bait and switch there, coming on to the Clash and then changing things up over to the Castle. I imagine for those barricades and that utility the Castle brings to the board, we're probably going to be seeing it focus more on the windows. A lot of times you want to lock up those west windows of Cigar, make sure that nobody can really get any angles through. It helps for a player that sits inside a pixel because there's a very common upside-down rappel angle you can hold that's extremely tough to fight against. Another usage, or another area where I could see those castle barricades being deployed, also has to do with windows, though on the east face of the building in protecting Cocktail, as well as possibly on the white stairs window. We see that angle on ACs used a ton, also in taking out and removing the position of Pixel. If you just stand up on that AC unit, you can watch through and make sure that you cut off their rotation if that is to be.
Yeah, definitely, and when you're looking at that kind of strategy going into this, we are going to be seeing that top floor hold with the castle. Artful on the IQ, moving up from garage, maybe trying to get those repels, as we see 3 members of Unreal Academy rappelling up to the roof, trying to get a lot of control here.
Yeah, so we've got the Nomad. She's going to be hopped up there on the roof along with, I believe, the Habana and the Sledge. He's got that breaching hammer. Is going to swing and shut down, open up both of those hatches. Imagine we'll probably see some air jabs shot down to the middle of the red staircase. We've got the Habana. She's actually going to be using her X-Kairos to get the red wall open. With 2 minutes on the clock, we could see a pretty fast take of Cigar, though there is a player close on the window, so that'll be an important factor to look at in how they attempt to take it. And if they don't, drone things. Oh no, I think that was actually the L who just got taken out. Mepsalot, he's got that frag grenade primed and ready, and it gets the first pick here for Cathay.
Yeah, Stun's gonna be the one felled at that area. It is going to be the castle, though, eliminated from iDelta on the rappel outside of south window near Cigar. Now moving his way into Cigar shop is going to be Mepsalot. He will be trying to take control, as most of Unreal Academy will move in, and Prism has already lost 2 members, meaning there are only 3 left to try and contest these 5 attackers pushing into sight. Still have iDelta at the top of Skylight, trying to make any last-second rotates from the defenders a little bit more hastily. We do see Vleezy, hopefully I'm saying that right, trying to move into Cigar Shop with his team, pre-firing towards where the Maestro of Korm is going to peek out. That grenade's going to come out and connect with one of the Maestro cams, so now some utility off the board, but Korm doesn't need a Maestro cam in order to get rid of Mepsalot, as he will fall. iDelta now using his utility to try and get rid of the rest of the Maestro cams as they are playing inside a Cigar Shop. Spiff will find a kill onto Artful, now making it a more manageable 3v3 from a 3v5. iDelta will get down, though, and the plant is going down by Vleezy. Now cover. Korm will try and spray down through
no! He couldn't hit the shot.
I don't think he couldn't hit the shots. I think it's going to be an interesting way to see Vleezy take out Spiff, and Nacho will find iDelta, but Vleezy does find a kill on the Korn, but the Skylight from Natural on Unreal Nightmare Academy will find the last kill. The diffuser did completely go down. The sprays did attempt to go out through the, I guess, the shelving unit, but I don't know if he couldn't connect or if it was just like a weird way. It looked like he was hitting them straight on.
So I can give a little bit of context to that. It's pretty difficult to hit shots through that bar there. It's something to do with the material it's made out of. It doesn't always coordinate too well with trying to shoot through and kill the planter. One thing to take a look at, iDelta, the former member of HNC who recently disbanded, and the newest member here for Unreal Nightmare Academy. He wasn't confirmed when he went down, so that gave him the opportunity, as Sophia, to pick himself up and get back into the fight. And I think if that had remained a 2-on-2, and if iDelta hadn't been a factor in that last round, things might have gone a little bit differently. They would have had less people helping deny the plants, and there would have been a pretty big separation. Obviously, we had, I believe, the Nomad, Wise, on the rooftop, holding that angle to shut down anybody rotating in through Trash Corner, which is kind of near the freezer door, closest to default. But if he had been all alone up there, and then the planter obviously kind of preoccupied with that position, we could have saw things go a little bit differently. I think bringing iDelta onto this team, just taking a step back and taking an overall look at this, is a good move, and picking him up makes me very confident in this team's ability to clutch up.
Absolutely, and when you're looking at a team that has already established themselves in Siege Cardinal League, adding iDelta from HNC, not a terrible way to go about that. Now, already having that experience in SCL does give that IGL position a little bit more credibility when you're looking at Unreal Academy's lineup. Now, on the other hand, Prism doing an excellent job at holding and defending these sites. But Unreal Academy will find that last round in their favor, although the plant did go down. Spiff will find a kill, the Artful, as he jumped out of, I believe that was Fireplace window. iDelta holding an angle through the chandelier up towards what appeared to be Cigar. Yes, that is an interesting angle he is holding here. Let's go back to that, and he will find a kill on a stunt. Amazing call out and communication from Unreal Academy, as they will find the person sitting in the cubby. Mello will find a kill onto Mepsalot, though, now making it a 4v3 situation favoring Prism. Fleazy now at the top of Red Stairs, looking through the breach inside of Cigar, trying to find a kill onto the castle. Mello will get eliminated. Flizzy on that Nomad will get that kill. Now moving his way inside of Piano, now making it a more manageable 3v3. Abana's going to move up with the Ice Kairos in hand, looking to see if she can push up. We do have the X-Kairos pellets in hand, but she's going to get Ellid, so that will make it a little bit more difficult here, as Zofia is also concussed as well, though it's not as effective to iDelta, considering that Zofia's one of her hidden abilities is that she is reduced to Gersmit concussion mines. Just under a minute left to play here, as Natural does have Freezer Wall open just a little bit to get that line of sight. Though Korm is holding that new balcony by Cocktail quite hard. Lizzie trying to get the upper hand here, and Korm will get concussed via the Maestro's, via Zofia's concussion grenade. Proximity mines are going off, though, and that is giving away the position of Natural, who's now moving into plant. Lizzie gets a nice kill onto Korm, as that's a second. The Nitro cell from Nacho, though, will take out Natural, and the plants are now under 30 seconds left. Smith will find a kill on the Blizzy, second on that one. Now it's all up to iDelta inside of Cigar Shop, looking for the kill onto Jaeger with just under 17 seconds left to play. The pre-fire and the spray through the bar counter will not find him. Jaeger peeks his head up. That Smith will find iDelta. That round goes to Prism Academy, tying it back up 1-1.
In the first round, it seemed like Prism, they had pretty decent control of the mid-round, whereas Unreal Nightmare, they were doing well in the beginning, and then obviously we saw them clutch up with the post-plant in the end. The story of our second round, however, differs a little bit. It seemed like starting things off, we saw that aggressive run out from Spiff, jumping through the fireplace window and shutting down the IQ of Artful, like you mentioned, gave them a really good handle on the clock and led to a situation where they were able to kind of decide where things went. Following that, though, moving into the mid-round, a complete mirror from number one, we saw Unreal Nightmare. They had a super strong handle on the trade game, and that's something I've seen in their performance from the past, notably in leagues like the ESA Rival Series. It seems like they're able to make sure whenever they are bleeding, whenever people are going down, there's always that teammate there ready to get the refrag and shut things down so that they can formulate a better plan to move forward. So, in this next round, number 3, for those of you keeping track here, we're getting the site set up right now from Prism. In their first couple of rounds here, it seems like their handle is mostly built upon kind of reacting to how Unreal Academy decides to play, so I wouldn't be super surprised to see them take a loss in this round, however close it may be, and then come around with a little bit of a better adaptation for the next one. We'll have to wait and see, though, as the preparation phase ends, and we get into the action here.
So I have been informed that Blizzy's name is actually pronounced Fly. Fly-Zai. I'm just gonna call him Fly. Fly. Okay. Well, anyway, I apologize. My mic was muted and I was trying to talk, and I'm like, why are you talking? But, you know, just Discord things. Anyway, we are going to see the top-down take from Unreal Academy, and this is kind of what you have to do on a map like Cafe. You have to move down from the top and push all the way down, clear all of the roamers. Now, one of the factors that determines your success in this map is how quickly you can do that without losing as many bodies as possible. So you see Jaeger, that is going to be Spiff, playing by pillars. So in order for him to be effective at holding down his team, he will have to hold it down for at least a minute. And he kind of did that, but iDelta really just no hesitation pushing in there with a drone and will take him out. So as we're saying, it comes down to how quick you can clear these roamers, and there is one more inside of Train. That will be the Legion of Korm, but he will be eliminated. But the refrag from Mello will find iDelta. Not entirely certain where that was, but already you are going to see Unreal Academy moving rather quickly on this roam clear. Now with just under a minute 25 left to play, they have cleared most of the roamers, if not all of them. So now they will start to establish this vertical control, and with a minute 15 on the clock, they are looking good in terms of clock management. We are going to see Artful, though, taking out the utility from above. Now, I talk about this time and time again, and it's the vertical play that you need to establish, but also control it into an interesting way, as we saw the C4 get yeeted up by one of the players of Prism. It will be the Mute. They are getting spotted by the Valcam, though. Mipsalot will take him out. We do see Vly now moving in to Bakery, and again, your vertical control is only as good as the pressure from the sides. Stunts is going to take out one. Fly will fall as Natural. We'll get the refrag onto him. Now making it a 3v2 as Mipsalot is going to spray down into Prep. Artful finds his second. Nacho will fall. Mello, the last one alive of Prism.
Yeah, this loose sight hold kind of having mixed results right now. Unreal Nightmare looks like they are ready to attempt a post plant, but they won't even need to get that diffuser down. Artful on the G8, it's got the Acad sighted in, and holding that angle will shut down the castle and clean things up. One thing I wanted to talk about, definitely I need to hit on that loose sight hold. It seemed like we had a lot of pressure, a lot of positioning on the middle floor. I thought it was good to push in early and shut down, I believe it was the Legion, or rather, no, it wasn't Legion. He was in that Train position, but getting that opening pick nonetheless was definitely helpful. And all the pressure, it kind of mounted onto the Legion. I mean, he had somebody above him with the hatch open. He had to worry about iDelta if he was going to come through dining. And then as well, he had the intel on the Nomad who stepped in Agumai trying to come in through mining. And really, it was looking good for Unreal up until we had Mello on the castle. I think iDelta, we weren't exactly sure on that position, but it seemed like he tried to push down White, and Mello sitting in VIP. He caught him and was ready.
Yeah, and that's where the aggressive playstyle can sometimes come back to bite you, per se. And if you don't use your drones, which I don't think he was just kind of trying to get as much map control as possible so his team could move up, and that's technically what you do as an entry fragger. So in terms of playing Zofia, his utility wasn't as useful, but he did get a key frag onto one of the roamers, so doing his job as entry. Do have to say, it was well played by Unreal Academy, and it showed. After they had taken vertical control, they're able to push in through the sides and clear sight. So, props to them.
5 seconds.
Seems like a lot of these rounds are pretty back and forth. We've seen mixed results from both of these teams, even through the course of a single round. I mean, whether that's a roam clear that goes wrong, or maybe a sight hold that wasn't exactly, didn't turn out maybe how they had hoped. So I really like to see that. What it clues me into is we're going to be seeing a continual close match here, probably go through all 12 rounds of regulation, and possibly, I mean, even end in a tie. From what we've seen Unreal, they seem kind of strong in the clutch, is a way of saying it, and so that would make me believe, you know, as soon as we get down to that match point situation, they'll kind of realize, you know, this is the do or die moment, and with strong players on their roster, Mepsalot, iDelta, Flyze. Oh no, Stunts! What is this? He just sits on the bandit prone in the corner with the pistol out. That's a very flashy play, but it's rewarded. Your Thermite, your hard breach down, and with only a single hard breach operator here on Kitchen, that is going to hurt.
Yeah, and already that's gonna stall Unreal Academy's push here. And good job to Stunts to take that fight and not lose any HP, especially considering that the hard breach, especially on kitchen site, you can't get freezer wall now, you can't get prep wall, you can't even get bakery wall. So that will prove to be a huge factor here, moving into the phase where they try and push site, where the 20-second meta is so prevalent.
So with the Thermite going down here, what do you think is really the best avenue? Oh,
no.
Artful with the pistol. He's got that red scanner, looks through the floor, and Stunts. He was flashy earlier, but it'll be Artful to get the skillful play on that one.
I think Stunts was just sitting on cameras there because it didn't look like he even tried to move. And that's just an unfortunate play, especially when there's an IQ on the board. You don't want to be sitting around. Nacho is going to find a kill onto Mepsalot, though. And now making it a little bit easier to push in. Fly is going to get the pre-fire. Eventually lands the shots and kills Mello. That is a nice play. He's going to spray and also find Corm. Now it's all up to Spiff and Nacho in sight to hold down the last push by Fly and Artful. Delta did get down, but he will revive himself. Now making him another crucial factor and another player on the board, even though he's only sitting at 5 HP, it is still another player you have to worry about. 30 seconds left, the flashbangs are coming out from Fly, as the Spiff will now get flashed. It's not Spiff, it's going to be Nacho playing with a shotgun and freezer. Will land the shots, but Spiff will find Artful in the cross. Now it's all up to Delta with just under 20 seconds left. Fly is going to be bleeding out on the floor inside a VIP corridor, and Delta with only 5 HP will try and stun. Move up close, try and contest his shotgun here. From the mute, sees him peeking out, but can't land the shots, knows that he has the advantage, and the peeker will find Nacho now pushing up. But it will be the Jaeger of Spiff, eliminating him, and that is a good positioning. Now, should Spiff have missed that shot, though, definitely Delta could have won that. We're going back and forth here, 2-2. Cafe, Prism Academy, Unreal Academy.
So I have a little bit of theory I'd like to run past you. In the first defensive kitchen round, number 3, I believe it was, we saw they definitely... speaking about Unreal Nightmare, focused on the top floor roam clear. And my theory is the Bandit, the reasoning behind why he chose to go prone and hide in order to surprise the Thermite is that he knew most of the attackers were going to be concentrated on the top floor, and he didn't really have to worry about somebody pushing him, 2 at once. Do you think that has any shred of possibility, or am I just... thinking into the wild?
I think you're overthinking it a little bit. Now, the Thermite definitely should have been pushing Bakery alone. He should have had somebody there, and he did. He had Artful there, as I'm looking back at the Twitch stream delay, and definitely had somebody there to push the refrag, but just wasn't as aggressive as Bandit, was just able to retreat back into sight. So I think that it was just almost a lucky kill, and IQ might have been just kind of caught off guard by that, so was not able to capitalize on that refrag. But should you have gotten that refrag, maybe you could have won that round, because Bandit did play a crucial factor. Getting rid of that hard breach, absolutely. A good play from Prism, not so good for Unreal Academy.
So we will be heading back to the top floor now for round number 5. I just saw, I believe, the Maestro pulling out that shotgun pistol. He opened up the bar near default, so they won't have any issues shooting through that like we talked about earlier. But attempting this bomb site for the 3rd time, seemed like Prism, they kind of figured out what needed to happen in order to shut down Unreal Nightmare's take on the 2nd attempt here. But now Unreal Nightmare, they have the opportunity to change things up for themselves, and I don't think what we saw from Prism, an aggressive run out, is going to be repeated in this one. It's kind of one of those plays where you take the risk, you do it once, and if it works out, that's good. But after that, the attackers, they're kind of going to be keyed into that, and they'll know you're going to be trying to play this a little bit more loosely. We've got Delta again. He's going to be holding this angle through the mining hallway window, though nobody actually playing inside of the humidor or cigar shop, so we'll be waiting to see if that is going to be fruitful. Though, Delta, he's just going to decide to rotate off anyway. Again, the top floor presence, the wall red opened up. We're getting ready to see here, and it's this same presence on the stage. This player, I believe Castle, really likes this position, and I mean, I had to give it to him. It seems like he's been strong in it so far.
Yeah, and definitely having somebody with really good game sense and the patience with his trigger finger to try and deny that push. Now, you will most likely die in this position, but if you can waste enough time from the attackers, you can really be a pivotal part of this. The sprays coming out from iDelta and the multiple peeks from windows and doorways will eventually eliminate Mello. Does get a little bit of damage off onto Metzelot, but ultimately was able to waste a good amount of time. But attackers wasting no time pushing inside of Piano and Cigar Shop respectively. They seem to be rather secure here, now trying to contest. Metzelot spotting out one of the Maestro cams from Form, making it very difficult to push up. The pre-fires are coming out though. Korm lays the shots on iDelta, now making it a 4v4. We have Vly on top of the skylight now, looking to try and get a pick onto anybody inside of Prism. Just under 40 seconds left to play. This will be interesting.
Artful taken out here by Spiff. He's been kind of a playmaker on Jaeger. 7-2 right now. He might be able to improve that a little bit if anybody else tries to push through the white hallway. We've got the wall here near Cart opened up. That'll be the sledge using his stop breaching capabilities. And the angles being held here by Prism are going to be super helpful to shut things down. Spiff, he finds another pick, though. Wise able to trade things back, shutting down Korm. It's a 2-on-3 with low health for Vize and the diffuser in a poor position. It'll be all up to the Nomad. She tries to push up, but Nacho on the SMG-11. He gets two super strong picks to shut down any possibility on that round.
Now, that was a smart play from Nacho. He knew that the attackers were going to funnel at the last second, and instead of going for the shotgun, he went for the SMG, not only because it has a faster fire rate, but it also plays that long-range capabilities. And you really can't take a shotgun from that far away. Even though he was positioned behind the cabinet, to try and pop his head up and get those 2 kills was smart. He did have other people holding his angles, so in order to really end out that round, it was a good idea to take that SMG play into consideration. Now, we are going to see them take a lead. 3-2 here on Cafe. Reading Room and Fireplace will be the site of choice here. And we'll see no castle being brought, which is kind of one of your staple operators when it comes to holding Reading Room, because you want to take control of that top floor and really hold that part hard and deny the skylight, the top of red stairs, you know, that whole side of the map. And considering that they push that every time, Unreal Academy could very easily take this round if they don't have that upstairs presence. Now, they are bringing Alibi. What do you think about that Alibi choice? And you really don't see her very often used in competitive play. What do you think is the reasoning behind that, especially not taking impact grenades in a deployable shield?
So, to give my thoughts on Alibi here, I think the first point I'd like to touch on is why she's being played, and that has to do with 2 factors. Maybe they've got a strategy where they're trying to hold up almost kind of a second level of extension, obviously extending vertically into Cocktail, but also extending into Bar. We see those Alibi prisms placed, and my other point would be, with the Mira ban, she's one of those key operators when you're trying to hold a vertical extension, so not having her on the board gives them a little bit more room for that operator to be played.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at Mira not being played here and looking at other operators that they did choose, you've got to look at the overall, I want to say, presence, because you need to have that top floor presence in order to stop any kind of push from above.
Yeah. So we will see the sledge up here. To address the elephant in the room, we had a little bit of a freeze there. Not sure exactly what happened, but things are back now. We are going to be seeing the first pick come out. I didn't see who was it first, Alibi or Zofia, but Blise goes down as well. So 2 strong picks here in Prism. They look strong on this tertiary bomb site. A point I wanted to note on in the prep phase that got pushed back because of that kind of standstill we had it doesn't seem like they're too focused on this site. We saw Bar and Kitchen were their primaries throughout all 5 of our previous rounds, but now with this tertiary bomb site, even though they didn't play it very much, they look incredibly strong, and they've got to practice this map a ton.
We are going to see Maestro eliminate the IQ. Artful will fall to Mellow. Now, Natural holding the angle at the top of new balcony of Cocktail. We do have the IQ above, though, and last time we saw Artful on IQ, she was able to get a floor bang kill. I don't think that will be the case here, considering that no defenders are going to be in kind of an area. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. I'm reading. Artful now, above, trying to take control vertically. They do have a 2v4 situation that they're trying to deal with. One of the Prismas will be taken out, though, as Natural is going to drop down, and Artful will do the same near red. Just under 40 seconds left. It will be up to these two, and with Natural, lands a nice shot onto Corm. It was that Stunts. I think it was Stunts. I can't read the name right now. I'm having a little bit of quality issues, but it's okay. Natural now trying to push into B site with just under 20 seconds left to play. Artful now finding a kill on a Nacho, making it a 2v2, a winnable situation here. They don't have the diffuser, but they actually do.
Oh no!
Push up.
The corner.
See the Jaeger sitting in the corner.
Check your corners.
Kill on the Natural, and that's why you use your drone.
Yeah, unfortunate there. He did not expect a player to be in that position, left a fireplace, and I wouldn't expect it either. Usually we don't see somebody sitting there because with the floor holes, you're extremely weak to anybody staring down through Pillar and Red Hall. But it's got to be, I have to give it to them. I mean, that was smart. It was a quick adaptation, and it caught the side of Unreal Nightmare off guard. But with that round victory, they will end the half. 4-2 here, not totally unusual for a Cafe defense, but Unreal Nightmare, a strong team, look a little bit off of their game right now, and they're going to need to ready up here as we switch on to the defense.
And you got to look at multiple factors here, though. Attacking on Cafe is probably one of the harder things to do in this kind of situation. Now, granted, they do have 2 rounds under their belt, but Cafe is a very hard map to attack, especially when you have that top floor. Top floor on any map is super difficult to get to because there are so many angles that you have to watch from, and the defenders could be hiding literally anywhere. And when you don't have drones and they are taken out or they're denied by a mute or something, it makes it 10 times harder to even get close to sight. Intel is the name of the game, and right now, if you are Prism, you're leaning on that 2-round lead, but don't be surprised if Unreal Nightmare Academy can jump back into this one, because they are definitely not out of this game.
Yeah, no, and they're not. I talked about their clutch potential and kind of the fact that this team, I mean, the players they've got on it, they can swing back at any time. I think breaking this down, why we might be seeing them a little bit slow today, Mepsalot is not on his best game. When he is on one, Mepsalot can be an incredibly talented player. I saw him a game on Consulate once. He got an ace one round with Jackal, and then the next one he got a 4K. So, I mean, he can really, given the opportunity, do a ton of damage. We're going to be looking to him for an increase in his play and really his ability to make things happen here. He's got the pulse scanner, and what that means for this round is he could do a very aggressive run out. I imagine with the Nomad, though, we'll be having something on the White Stairs window. That's not an area where you just give up control for free. Wise on Castle is taking an incredible amount of damage. Unreal are going to need to fix something here, especially with no Doc to heal that player.
Yeah, you are going to see Stunts repelled on the east window along with Nacho. They're really trying to bait out any of the defenders here, get any picks going, because right now they are struggling to get really any map control, and that's one of the issues when you're looking at Cafe. It's one of those maps where if they have that top floor control, there's only a couple ways you can test it. 1, try and pick them off lucky on the windows, or 2, you have to full team push and funnel through one area. And right now, they're trying to clear the roamers from down below, and they will do that. Fly will fall, now making it a little bit easier. Spiff trying to spray down any of the other roamers. but is not able to connect at the moment. With just under a minute and 20 seconds left, they have now cleared the roamers, and they do have the drones coming out. Stunts will be at the skylight, though, trying to pick off anybody else, and it's a really slow down to top take, and it seems to be paying off right now. Just under a minute left, and Melo's gonna be ripping below with the buck, and this is one of those strong angles you want to look at if you're Prism, because you can easily pick off the Maestro sitting in the corner. He's spraying all the shots in, but does not land many of them. 75 HP is now off the board, but Natural will fall to Corm on the rappel, and Stunts will find a kill onto Mepsalot. Just like that, 2 more defenders are off the board, and Artful and iDelta will be the last ones alive. But the flank from iDelta coming up red will find a kill onto Stunts. The plant's coming down from Nacho with now 30 seconds on the clock. Melo will find a kill onto Artful, and it's all up to Jaeger, which is iDelta. Now moving up close, knows he has to find one. He does. Nacho will fall. His second on the round. Will he be able to clutch it out? Now moving in through Freezer on the rotate. Doesn't hear the one in bathroom, though. Spiff gets a nice kill. His second of the round will eliminate iDelta. That round goes to Prism, and they take a 3-round lead.
So my question for you, if you're trying to break things down here and give feedback for Unreal Nightmare, what is kind of the first place where things start to go wrong?
Well, right now, if you're Unreal Nightmare, you need to be a little bit more aggressive. You can't have everybody sit on site and only have one roamer, especially on a map that is so based around roam clearing. Whether you do a top to bottom or a bottom to top, you do have to try and contest a couple of your attackers. Now, the castle below was not able to get any damage off or be really any factor that round, so you really need to work on using your utility and your roaming potential a little bit better, and maybe try and play a little bit more drone denial, because right now, it just seems you're letting Prism walk right through and their drones are uncontested, and even then, when your drones are on the board, whether that's 1, 2, that's still intel for the attackers, and as a defender, you don't want that.
Yeah. The way that Prism are going about this is kind of different than usual. I mean, focusing on control of the second floor when you're attacking third floor is a little bit, I would say, underrated, but what they did with it last round and what they were able to achieve is incredibly, it just kind of proves to me that this team, they're not a team to look down upon or count out, and they're going to be someone to watch. I think I'm going to make an early prediction. Prism, they're going to be a top 4 team through the rest of the season, and shutting down Unreal Nightmare on one of their maps. They're pretty talented on Cafe here. They're going to definitely be a hallmark, and I have to give it to them. But changing things up here again, we will be seeing a, looks like top floor hold here, Cocktail and Bar. The window open up here, a little bit unusual. I think that was maybe something to do with the rotate, just a little bit of those bullets coming through. And we've got good drone work here from Prism. We've got pre-placed drones on the first floor and getting control of the second as we speak. It's the same idea again. And look at this. So we've got Ash, she's already in reading, and there's nobody even down here contesting it. This is the first area where I think they're going wrong. They knew that Prism took the second floor last round, and they didn't make a single change to try and contest it.
You talk about the changes. Nacho gonna get a nice shot into Artful, and Vly will be killed off screen via Spiff. So that's already 2 defenders off the board, and that's not what you want if you're Unreal Academy down 3 rounds right now. But you talked about just letting them walk in below. Nacho will find his second onto Natural, and now it's all to iDelta and Mepsalot. Here's one pushing up, and he does get the kill onto iDelta, but iDelta is traded out.
Ouch. That's tough.
Guns gonna walk into sight, take out Mepsalot, and that was just 2 early frags that really just sparked the momentum for Prism. And again, you talked about just not having any downstairs control, and I talked about it the first time. They only had 1 roamer. Okay, this time let's put no roamers down here. Not even try and contest their push, and just all die to the crossfires. And when you're looking at the top floor hold, it's gonna be those windows, those cheeky rappels where they punch a barricade and get a quick pick. That's probably one of the easiest ways to establish momentum and get that top early frag, and they really did that. Prism really just using and moving like clockwork right now. Match point 6-2.
Yeah, and spark is absolutely the right word to use. They were able to get a ton of leverage that caused Unreal Nightmare the it was kind of an alarm was sounded that they need to figure out something to do on the middle floor to stop them from getting that control. What we saw in previous rounds of that same bomb site,
Attackers
once
need
they
to
were
locate
able to
and
get
defuse as
below
many
into
bombs as they
Cocktail,
can.
they were extremely quick to get that vertical play set up.
Attackers
And
have
I
located a
think
bomb.
once you lose control of Cocktail, once it's open from below and you can't afford to play there anymore, that's kind of the death knell for that bomb site, because Cocktail is such a strong position, and not having that basically eliminates the possibility for you to shut down a plant, for you to try to play inside Freezer, because, I mean, you've got so many angles to contest with, and there's really no other way to hold that bomb site once you lose control of Cocktail. But with that round victory for Prism, we are up 6-2, match
5
point,
seconds to
and
go.
all of the momentum is on their side. Unreal Nightmare have not
Attackers
won a
objective is
round
to defuse
since
the
number
bomb.
3 on Kitchen, and they need to fix things and switch it up quick to regain that momentum and try to head for the tie.
Now, you gotta hand it to Prism. They are moving and working like a team. A spawn peek, though, from Fly will kill Nacho, and that's a gutsy play here for Fly, and it does pay off. They do pick off one of the key factors to trying to take Kitchen,
A
Sophia
bomb
off the
is
board.
located. Attackers
Artful
recover
is
the
already
defuse.
down to about 20 HP. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he was spawn peeking too. iDelta also down a little bit of HP. So aggressive plays to try and counter Prism's aggressive strategy might pay off here, because Prism has been moving rather effectively and they uncontested. So already trying to play a little bit more aggressive here will kind of throw them off their game. And I think that is what their strategy is going into these rounds, down four rounds to Prism.
Yeah, so as we head through the round, one more thing I'd like to touch on. You mentioned stopping their momentum, and I think that's probably what they had wanted, though it didn't seem like it occurred too well. Flyze, we saw him way earlier in the round spawn peek and shut down Nacho. Though Spiff, he will trade it back here in a grand total of 8 rounds. Spiff is 15-2. I don't think we kind of noticed that he went off the radar there, but he has been gunning like crazy, and that's one of the things that Unreal Nightmare rely on, having a team that isn't going to respond back to your aggression with that same aggression. Prism Academy, they are not laying down, and they are taking the fight to Unreal Nightmare. 2 minutes so far expended on the round. I mean, 1 minute 10. What do they need to do? I mean, we just see them continue to lose gunfights, lose their man advantage, and what they need to do, I think, is find some way to leverage what is remaining of the time here.
Yeah, definitely, but already having top 4 control will be Prism Academy establishing that vertical control. You touched on Spiff being one of those key players, and he absolutely is. Not just in terms of kills, but his utility that he's been using with the Ash has been so effective. He has the least amount of deaths at 2, so he is definitely playing a very smart game here. Corm gonna get down from an angle that he is not sure where from. Meepsala is going to find Mellow, and stunts will fall as well to iDelta, and just like that, it's a 1v4. Now Corm will be revived though, now making it a 2v4. We do have just under 20 seconds left and 4 players of Unreal Academy alive.
15
We
seconds
are going
remaining.
to see Spiff play really aggressive here in just a second. The flashbangs are coming out from Nomad, and it doesn't look like he's going to push here. With 5 seconds left,
5
just looks like he's
seconds to
going
go.
to bait a little bit. Pushing up into the shotgun, will not land the shots. Mepsalot takes some damage,
Operators,
but
you are out of
ultimately Unreal Academy get a much needed round win here in Kitchen, and you have to start to think, is it the site that wasn't working for them in the top 4? Or was it just their mentality going into this? Because they were able to win Kitchen, I don't think they're going back to top floor here.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I don't think they're going to attempt that bomb site. We see Reading come out. Round number, I believe we're on number 10 now, but round number 9 is going to give them a much-needed boost of momentum. With that victory, we're only 3 rounds away from a possible tie here, and if they're able to claim these next 3 while a draw, not the best for your record, as your first game, I would say it's excusable. And maybe that's just Unreal Nightmare getting used to the Siege Cardinal League best of one system. Obviously, being used to other leagues, it kind of takes a little bit of a settling in. And also, Prism, they've just been ready and they're in their game.
Attackers
They know
need to
what they
locate
need to
and
do.
defuse as many bombs as they
Maybe
can.
last round they got a little bit cocky. I guess you could say that. And having been up, I mean, 4 rounds through the whole game, they're looking incredibly strong, and I could excuse that. It happens, you know, when you're in the lead. But they're probably going to be looking for an opportunity to close things out here as we go to reading, and they're going to be confronted with this same top floor hold in Cocktail.
Yeah, the site says not actually going to be inside a cocktail, but you do have to establish that reading
10 seconds
room
to insertion.
verticality control. So they are going to bring a clash, and it looks like they have a deployable shield.
5 seconds left
And
before
most likely
insertion.
you're going to see at least 2 people playing inside of cocktail.
Attackers must
It's one of those
locate
crucial
and defuse
spots
bombs.
you really need to hold in order to stall the attackers. Now, going on last round, I don't think it was the attackers getting cocky because they didn't really change the pace at which they were moving. Spiff, the entry frag, was moving in, was able to get the refrag after the spawn peek from Fly, but ultimately Prism has just established that kind of clockwork routine motive. Even though they did lose 1 player, it did not really stall their momentum in the sense that they were just able to still move in. What really plagued them that round was they just let the defenders walk up and contest their vertical control. They knew that there was nobody on site, and they still didn't take advantage of that. Spiff dropping down in through Red Hatch, along with Stunts right behind him. They are going for this roam clear. The Jackal now in hand. Still on the board here, surprisingly. They are going to ping out 1, and he will be spotted by a drone and a Jackal right now. If you are iDelta, you are not in a very strong position, though the smoke of the Toxic Babe will choke him out just a little bit. Spiff holding an angle inside of Cigar, now looking towards new balcony of Cocktail.
Flies a good support there, blocking out his team, or blocking out the pixel angle, that way the Jaeger isn't too threatened. And I'm a big proponent of mid-round smoke usage. I feel like waiting till the end of the round is kind of the usual, but it puts you at risk too much to just die with all that utility. So, as that is now over, the smoke babe has long since evaporated. We will get ready to see the attack coming through bar. Oh no, here comes the clash though. Mepsalot is going to push back against Prism. I've seen him before on Clash on this map, and he's definitely a skilled player. No, we've got Mello holding this angle here. Natural will get the pick inside of secret corner here inside pillar. He's got a drone to contest with, as well as Ash, who is able to find the kill. Spiff with number 16 on this round spots out a player on the balcony just above him, and the smoke remaining here, it's cut down.
Yeah, Blise will fall to the hands of Jackal. Spiff looking for more, though, as it will be iDelta swinging out. But the Clash puts the shield on her back. Double kill for Spiff. But Form is going to fall to iDelta, and he is going to find Spiff as well, his second on the round. iDelta moving up, though, will be refragged by Stunts. A flurry of kills coming out here, as Mello is the last attacker alive. But the spray through the wall via the SMG-11 will find Stunts and Mello. The round goes to Unreal Nightmare, and a nice wallbang to finish it off here as they take 2 rounds consecutively. Could this be a comeback?
I think it just might be. We see Artful gets the wallbang kill, shuts down the buck, and things kind of developed into chaos there. Spiff had an opportunity to collect 2 with the Clash, making a questionable aggressive drop there, but I think it was what they needed. I assume they knew that they had the diffuser drop there inside a pillar, and that created a really terrible separation. Mello, who was already busy holding that angle in through train and into reading, was not in any sort of a position to support his teammate as he dropped down in through laundry. Unfortunate there, and we'll have to see them play a little bit smarter and use that teamwork we saw them wield so well earlier. Unfortunate for them, and 2 more rounds.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
I don't think
bombs.
it's necessarily that Prism isn't working as a team. It's just really coming down to Unreal Academy holding sight way better than they were originally. Prism just kind of caught off guard by the aggressive style that Unreal is hitting them with. And it's not something that they were ready for. Now, I feel like the first few rounds, Prism kind of caught Unreal off guard, especially with Spiff and how aggressive he is. Now, that hasn't changed. Spiff is still able to get those entry frags, but the rest of his team is not playing off of his frags. They're still playing that super passive role, and once you get that first pick, you need to try and establish more map control, and I haven't seen them do that quite yet. So Unreal Nightmare, they do take advantage after they get that first pick on them. They just kind of fall back, and right here, you're going back to top floor. You gotta try something different, but it looks like they are running the same exact strategy. They need to have that bottom floor control here, and don't peek anything unnecessary. This time, in my opinion, from a 2020 hindsight kind of view, you don't put anybody inside a piano. You focus your utility elsewhere, and you play the long game, because right now, Prism has been struggling to try and push site last minute, and that has really been plaguing them all along. They do try and play that long, methodical game, and the 20-second meta has killed them every time. And if you can just stay alive as a defender, you're going to rustle a little bit of feathers. But iDelta is going to find Spiff. The aggression just not going to pay off for him here, as he tries to run up white, does not pay off.
Yeah, this is the change that I think we needed to see in Flyze as well as Mepsalot on Brown Stairs. They are making the exact decision that I told them to do on the second time we saw them defending this bomb site. You must contest the second floor, and you cannot afford to give them that control. And they have done that so far in this round perfectly. Shutting down Spiff after he tried to come in through Snow Door and into Reading was iDelta on the pick for that one, as well as holding that door from Pillar and Brown Stairs, building a nice crossfire to make sure that nobody could come into Reading and avenge their teammate of Spiff. Right now, a 4-on-2 with 1:30. While this is doable, it's not exactly the power players that you want from Prism Academy in the clutch.
It's not even the power players, it's just the positions they're kind of held in right now. The defenders have just fortified themselves on site, and that will be the case as Artful will find stunt. Saw the Corm, he's got about a sliver of HP, and although I don't like his odds, it does not look good. One Toxic Babe, and he's dead. So right now, you gotta take a tactical timeout, maybe reconsider what you're doing, because Unreal Academy is going to win another consecutive round. And now they're just within one round of Prism Academy and tying it up, going into a tie for their first match in SCL.
Yeah, so not much to talk about here. I suppose we can take this opportunity while Prism, they're probably walking this one back and trying to break it down. We talked about, their attempt to hold the middle floor, and while that sort of played one part, what else do you think contributed to Unreal Nightmare being able to take not only this round, but the others that have been helping them to build this streak so far?
I hate to blame just one player, but Spiff played that really aggressively. It did not pay off. His team didn't drone him in, and it just did not end up working in his favor. Now, if you're Prism right now, you gotta take a deep breath and realize that the defenders have caught on to what you're doing. I dealt with a nice shot onto Spiff, not Spiff, the Nomad on top of Skylight. I'm not entirely certain who it was there, kind of forgot. But it was Corm. Sorry. Corm on the Skylight. You really have to just look at the factors of having your top frag and your entry just run in and not do anything. Not use any of his utility, not even get any damage off, and do probably one of the more copper things to do, which is just run up white stairs when you got barbed wire, you've got an echo to deal with. It's just not a good combination to kind of go against, especially even with a Maestro. So I like what Unreal Academy is doing here, and that will be bringing 2 drone denial, which is super crucial to try and eliminate Prism, because right now they're relying on their drones. After their top frag goes down, there's no reason for them to drone him in because he can't really frag, and no offense to anybody else, but right now they're not getting those crucial frags that they need to be. Unreal Academy is definitely getting the frags that are needed.
Yeah, a little bit of a confusing situation last round to end things, but we've got a new round here. It'll be the final round. We have achieved our goal, 12 rounds of regulation. We are on match point. A final round here to decide whether or not Unreal Nightmare ties things up or Prism Academy, they steal it away and end things 7-5. On the bottom floor defense, taking a look at my notes, it seems like in the past, Unreal have done decently well. They've been able to fend them off in both their offenses and their defenses, so maybe we'll see them achieve the same result. Another thing to touch on, last time we saw Unreal Nightmare defend this bomb site, they went for a long series of aggressive runouts. Some could say that they paid off, others cost them a little bit of HP.
Well, if you're Unreal, you have 3 rounds of momentum on your side. Now, I think now is the time to play a little bit more passive, but you also want to try and contest that top floor and second floor control, because if you let Prism run away with that, it's just not going to be an easy time as the attackers, or the defenders, to try and let them just kind of walk into sight. You let them clear top floor, and then it's just left to holding those vertical angles, and if you are Unreal Academy, you need to try and stop that vertical pressure from even attempting to happen. Spiff gets a good kill onto Vly, though, trying to creep up red stairs, and that is an entry frag that is well needed. Now, in order for it to be effective, though, Prism is going to have to play off of that. Spiff wasting no time to try and establish that top floor control as he is moving. Ugh, holy crap, I just had a stroke. Spiff now wasting no time moving down through pillars, droning into dining. Does see a deployable shield, though, could prove to be problematic, and just like that, Prism has vertical control with 1:30. They're in a good position, especially with 1 pick off the board, to try and win this round.
Seems like they will get some of that utility inside of Freezer removed, so the possibility of getting that wall open is something they could consider. Mello traversing the top floor here, or rather the floor adjacent to the top of the bomb site, will take a little bit of damage. The defenders using that vertical soft play against them. Spiff, though, he is in a position to start getting things done. It's on the bottom of Brown stairs. He's got his R4C and 100 health. He could definitely make a play to end things here with Natural on low health, with Blaze already taken out earlier by Blaze, or Blaze Spiff. He didn't kill himself. It gives you a strong advantage and an opportunity to close things out here, should they decide to make an aggressive play.
Yeah, if you're gonna see an aggressive play, it's gonna be from nobody other than Spiff right now. He's been playing off of the frags absolutely brilliantly. Natural gets downed by some means, and Nacho will be the one to finish him off, now making it a 3v4 situation. Corm, though, gonna be eliminated via Artful, and now you're under the 20-second meta, and this is where things get intense. The bearing in hand peeks out, does find the Goyo. Artful will fall his second on the round. The double kill for Spiff. He moves into sight, gets the 4th kill. He gets a 4K to finish it off here, and Spiff drops 20 here in his SCL debut.
What a play there from Spiff. He absolutely just led them to victory, and I have to give it to him. I mean, what a crazy showing from him. 20 kills in a 12-round match is not something to shake your head at. And Prism Esports, they finish things up here, and they take it. What a strong showing. Unreal Nightmare so close to making the comeback and getting the tie, but ultimately they fall just so short of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we'll be getting one of the members of Prism in here for an interview. I'm not sure if anybody told them, but the way in SCL that it works is that if your team wins, you get to talk to us casters, go through a little bit of your mentality and your teamwork trying to go into this one. But I'm not sure we're going to have an interview.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but in the meantime, while we discuss this, what was really kind of the factor that defined that match for you, the highlight, the biggest play, or what stood out to you the most, just looking back at that?
Definitely gotta say, I mean, I don't want to keep, like, hammering the point through, but Spiff dropping over 20 kills for his team is not something you want to overlook. I mean, it goes a long way in terms of just kind of establishing momentum, but you cannot rule out Unreal Nightmares Academy's strategy moving into the phase where they were down 4 rounds. They brought it back to match point, and that is not something that is easy to do. Now, at the end of the day, Prism did walk away with it, but there were multiple reasons for that. Prism just kind of kept doing the same thing that they were doing, and they kept building upon that. Now, on the other hand, Unreal Academy kept throwing different curveballs at him. The one thing that plagued them that last round, they only had one roamer, and they let Prism get control of top floor a minute 45 into the round. That is a minute to work with in just terms of opening up vertical angles. There were no nitro cells, no way to contest that vertical pressure, no pulse, no even shotguns that were even shot up. So, gotta look at what Prism did, and they just kind of exploited the weakness of Unreal Academy. And it really showed in that last round. So definitely Prism going to be one of those teams you're going to have to watch out for. Now, it is way too early to say that they are a top 4 team because we've only seen so many matches played. But definitely a team you're going to want to look out for. And Spiff, making a name for himself here.
Yeah, I kind of want to give my insight onto that. It seems like Spiff is kind of a resource. When he's managed well, he can be very helpful for your team. And what he brings to the table, his biggest pro, you could say, is the fact that he can just, given the right opportunity, take so much map control so quickly. In rounds like we saw, aside from when Unreal Nightmare finally realized how they needed to hold on the top floor, it was just every round. Spiff, he would go in through reading. If there was anybody waiting for him, he would shut him down, and he would take the vertical control and get all of that ready. And we also saw that in the final round. You mentioned how there was only that single roamer, and that kind of caused some of the issues for them. It really was, it was just Spiff. He pushed in. Oh, no, we've got Spiff. I see him in the waiting for interview room, so we'll go ahead and bring him on in here for you guys. Welcome to the casting booth, Spiff, and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
So, wow. A 20 bomb, I think. What a way to make your debut here, huh?
Yeah, it was insane, bro.
We were just talking about it. Sorry to cut you off, Matt, but
No, you're good.
Before, it seems like rounds in which your team was successful, definitely one of the main contributing factors was the ability for you to just be that spearhead, the playmaker who takes control of the building and puts down any attempt at a roamer. Would you say you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, my teammates, they just helped so much by just droning me in so I could just go in and press mouse 1 on everyone, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Dang.
What were you going to say, Matt?
I was just going to say definitely a huge contributing factor to your win there. What were you guys thinking when you saw Unreal Nightmare Academy kind of starting to almost win? They won 3 consecutive rounds after you guys had a 4-round lead. Do you want to go through your mentality when that started to happen?
After the rounds we lost, we started talking. We kept the calm composure. We just kept vibes up. We knew the little mistakes we made, so we just capitalized them on the last round when they went bakery again.
All right. Well, I don't have much more to say, but Stick, you got anything else to add?
Well, I do. Taking a look back at my notes here, I believe it was Unreal Nightmare. No, it was when you guys were defending. It was the Bandit on, I believe, round number 3 on Kitchen. He just was prone in bakery right of the doorway, the double door, and shut down Thermite. Can you give us any more insight into that? What happened? What led to that?
Okay, so before that round started, Stuns, the Bandit player, he was just like, "Hey guys, tell me if they're repelling so I could just run out." And we told him, so he just ran out, and I just heard an entire mag just dump, and I heard the pistol, and I was like, "Oh, we got someone." And then when he said Thermite dead, we were ecstatic about that.
Yeah, and that's got to be super important kill. Do you think that contributed a lot in the course of that round? Was that something?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that contributed greatly because since we got the Thermite down, they had, I believe, no more heartbeat, so all they had to do was funnel through doorways, and we just kept angles in like code and all that.
Definitely. That's all that I've got, and it seemed like we were able to answer all the questions here, so I'll go ahead. Once again, congratulations, man. What a showing. 7-5 victory, maybe a little bit closer to what you might have wanted, but ending it with the victory, that's a statement here in shutting them down, taking this first game win. Congratulations to you guys, and have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My boy Corm told me to eat up. The entire team told me to eat up. We got it.
Definitely eat up, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, that will do it here for SCL week number 1, day 2. It's day 2, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I think we have more matches tomorrow, so you guys don't want to miss that. Tomorrow's matches will be at 8 o'clock, Team Front versus Allen x Allen. And then following that match will be Troll Team 6 versus Claw Central. New teams here in SCL, and just like today, never know what's going to happen. Whether it's almost a comeback victory or it's an absolute blowout. You don't want to miss it here on SCL. I have been It's Me, Matt, and my co-caster, Sticula. We have our producer, Snowball, our live feed analyst, A-Beam, and we will not forget our stats analyst, Shinobi. Thank you, guys, and have anything else to say, Stick, before we go and sign off?
Have a good night, everyone.
All right, take care. Peace out.